Welcome back to Africa Unfiltered, the podcast where we don't sanitize history, we expose it. Today's episode is not for the faint of heart. You've heard of Adolf Hitler, the architect of the Holocaust. But there was another man, a man who killed just as many, a man who mutilated children, burned villages, and turned an entire African country into his personal slave camp. Now, I've heard it said the Holocaust was hell, but what happened in the Congo was hell before hell had a name. Now, his name was King Leopold II of Belgium. So why is one taught in every classroom and the other erased? Today, we will tell you the story the West has tried to forget. Two monsters, one remembered, one protected. Let's get into it. Let's break down the numbers. Adolf Hitler, 6 million Jews, 11 to 17 million people total murdered during the Holocaust and World War II. King Leopold II, 10 to 15 million Congolese dead. Let that sink in. Hitler used gas chambers and labor camps. Leopold used forced labor, mutilation, and starvation. Whole villages were forced to harvest rubber or face execution. Arms were chopped off. Children were whipped. Women were raped. The Congo Free State was not a colony. It was Leopold's private business. The world rightfully calls Hitler a demon. But Leopold, in Belgium, he still has statues. Schools and streets bear his name. Europe erased the receipts, but we're bringing them back. If a village didn't meet its rubber quota, the Belgian officers would cut off hands of men, of women, of children. Survivors described piles of severed limbs. One Belgian officer, Leon Fiezev, reported collecting 1,308 severed hands in 1 month to prove he was enforcing quotas. This wasn't a war. It wasn't a conflict. It was a system built of African blood for European profit. And it was sanctioned by silence. Hitler's crimes were broadcast globally because of whom it was against another. Leopold's crimes were carried out in the jungle, covered by the Belgian kings and Catholic missionaries. The Congo was looted. And when Leopold was forced to give it up, Belgium took over and kept looting. Let's talk truth. Why don't we learn about Leopold II the way we learn about Hitler? Because the world has never valued African lives equally. Because Europeans needed a villain to distance themselves from after World War II, and Hitler fit the role. But they couldn't throw Leopold under the bus because they were all doing the same thing in Africa. Britain in Kenya, France in Algeria, Germany in Namibia, Portugal in Angola. They built empires on bodies. After World War II, Germany was punished, but Belgium, it kept its wealth. It keeps its silence. And so did the world. History books, silent. Reparations, non-existent. Justice, forgotten. Congo, to this day, is still bleeding. Today, it's one of the richest nations in minerals. Coltan, gold, diamonds. But it remains one of the poorest countries on earth. Why? Because that original theft, that genocide, set the foundation. Generational trauma, foreign meddling, governments, corporate greed. And meanwhile, Belgium got rich. There's no Leopold Remembrance Day, and there's no never again for Congo. And that silence is political, it's racial, and it's deliberate. History is not just about the past, it's about who gets remembered. It's about whose pain gets a museum and whose gets forgotten in the soil. King Leopold II killed millions. He should be known as one of history's greatest villains, not hidden behind marble statues and royal portraits. We remember Hitler because we said never again. We must say it again for Africa, for Congo, for every child who lost a hand so Europe could ride in rubber-tired cars. This is Africa Unfiltered. And we speak the names they want you to forget. Until justice has a voice and history has no favorites.